Hello everybody, this is Random Dudes 751 here. This is going to be my first YouTube video. Hopefully it's going to get about 10 views, but still. This is the game Men of War, and it's a 3v3 on the map Road. It's a victory flag game mode. This is on the first patch. I'm going to try and get the latest patch so, you know, get more games out there, but it's hard to find the game on this nowadays, still. Or on the first patch it's hard to find a game, but still. So I've started off with an SMG unit, an M20 and an M8 artillery piece. The M20 is a light vehicle and SMG infantry. Submachine gunners, 6 of them in a unit. So I originally was just going to buy the M20, but now I just thought I'd just buy the M8 for the head of it. And it actually does its purpose in the game, really. But it only destroys, I think, this one tank. Can't have spoilers there, but still. But yeah, so it is pretty crap, to be honest. It's a pretty crap artillery piece, but its advantage is that it has an arcing angle of fire. So you could fire at enemy tanks, but they can't fire at you and enemy infantry. So it's good at killing infantry. It's very good at that. So the moment I put it down, it fires at that for some random reason. I have no idea why, which seems pointless because now they know where I am. It's an SPG tank there, Russian tank. So I'm lining up for a shot with direct control and I fire, and it misses. Or I'm sorry, I think it got deflected off. But yes, and it fires again, and it hits it with no effect. But then let's see, it gets the hull damage, so I'm thinking, oh, this could destroy it. So I aim again and get another shot off, and that destroys the hull, which I'm quite happy about. That's a good way to start the game. Now with M20, something's happened to it, and I'm not sure what. Something's hit it, and its wheels unable to move now. Oh, and here I was so hoping that M8 Greyhound would take that thing out. That's a T-34 tank. I believe it might be a 76 or an 85. So yeah, pretty good T-34 tank. So I've bought a Chaffee tank. It's a good medium tank, or I think it might be actually a light tank on this. It's very fast. It's got a good gun. It's really good for flanking. So I was planning on getting around that T-34, and my M20 just blew up. For I don't think a person killed it. I think it said world, so don't know what killed it. So as I'm moving up my Chaffee, my allies M5 one-shots that tank in the side and just completely destroys it. So I'm gonna move this up to the point now. I see this other SPG and one-shot it, and it's out for the count now. So I'm moving up my little Chaffee tank, which is it's another crap tank. I don't really like buying the big stuff at the beginning. I don't really see the point in saving up if you're playing as something like the US, because they haven't really got any good tanks. So you may as well buy light tanks and try and get the edge at the beginning, rather than go into heavy tanks, and you won't beat the Russians in heavy tank warfare. On the first patch anyway. On the first patch, the Pershing's your best tank. It's got pretty pathetic armor for a heavy tank. Its gun's good, but against an IS-3, which has got a 122mm gun, I think it's the in their medium and heavy tank category. I think it's got the biggest gun in the game, the IS-2 and the IS-3, and that thing would destroy a Pershing at pretty much any range in one shot. So it can't match up to an IS-3, nowhere. So that's why I don't like the US. They haven't got a good heavy tank. Not one that I can find anyway. I guess I haven't really checked their SP guns. I'm guessing their SP guns, you know, there might be a secret jewel in there. But yeah, so far I haven't really found a good tank. So I've bought a Ranger unit. They're elite infantry, so they'll dominate SMG infantry and so on. So this goose getting shot at, and as you can see, I think they have body armor, so they can just run through. Most of them are armed, I believe, with a semi-automatic rifle, and it's not fully automatic, but it's semi-automatic, and it's really you know, these dudes can fire it about a bullet probably about every second. So that's pretty good at this time. Maybe actually more than one bullet a second, but yes, you know, pretty good guns. Does more damage than a rifle does, and a rifle does pretty good damage. So yeah, they've got pretty good guns. So my ally takes out that tank there with its Lee. So at the moment, so my guys are kind of getting killed, and I've moved up my chappy a bit, because I'm a bit worried about it. But still, so I'm turning it around, it's facing the right way now. So I'm looking at the stats. So this time I decided to buy an M8 Greyhound, and the idea was I was going to try and take out that mortar, but it doesn't quite end that like that, because there's a tank guarding it, which I did not know. Because mortars in this game will annihilate infantry, because they can pretty much fire from over anything on the game, so pretty much nothing can do anything about it. So there I was trying to use my M8 to try and destroy that T-34 tank, and it doesn't look like a very... I think that's the 57, or the first 76 you get, T-34 76. So I take another shot at it, and I hit its track directly, and there's no effect. So at this point I'm guessing I can't do any damage if the track wouldn't get blown off, which is always the weakest part of every tank. But then luckily my ally crushes its hull, so lucky there. So then I can see this tank moving up. I'm like, because you know that could easily destroy my Greyhound without even a problem. It's 50 caliber could on the top. But my ally's an SMG infantry, luckily placed, and he throws his AT grenade and takes out the turret. So I'm gonna run up my Greyhound now, and he's moving close to me. I'm like, oh yes, and I fire, but there's no effect. Luckily though, my ally's M5 was there and takes it out. So my allies in this game are very good. They always got my back. So we're very much pulling around the game now. We're started off pretty bad, but now we're, pulling it back. So there's not much going on now. My allies bought a Sherman 76W. It's got a 76mm gun. It's just like a normal Sherman. And it's 76. On this game, it's the millimeter of the gun is, it can determine how powerful it is. But I've seen 57mm do more damage than 76. Because they pack more explosive power on them. So the millimeters does give you some sort of determination, but always look at the stats of the penetration, because you'll find that some tanks, where they've got a bigger millimeter gun, do less penetration damage. So I bought an M5 now. This is a hench artillery piece in my opinion. Does lots of damage for the amount it costs. But it's classed as a one-shot artillery piece. So once you fire it, and it doesn't destroy the tank, there's a very high chance that the tank will destroy it. So, but it's still a very good tank. So this part's coming to a conclusion. The Sherman's been hit, its turret's down, it's turning around. So, do you think the Sherman will be taken out? Look at the next part.